Okay, people at home. So we're going to start out by giving the answers to our little trivia quiz on New Zealand. So if you know this already, great. If you don't, you can follow along and we'll learn some things about the country. So number one, what is a chili bin? It is A, where things go to stay cool. It's a cooler. They call that a chili bin in New Zealand. Number two, New Zealand was the first country to do which of these? It was C, give women the right to vote. Oh, cool, huh? Number three, the kiwi is the only known bird in the world that, C, has its nostrils at the tip of its nose. We'll show you a picture of that one today. Number four, what have New Zealanders invented? It is D, all the above. The bobby pin, the jet boat, and the electric fence. In fact, oh man, they have some great jet boats there. We went like over 100 miles an hour. It was so cool. It was really fun. I screamed a lot. Number five, what is Pavlova? Maybe you've had it at a restaurant in America. It has become Americanized. It is D, a dessert made of meringue and fruit. And that is a New Zealand dessert. Number six, what are the All Blacks? No, they are not sheep at night. They are their famous rugby team. And they are the best in the nation. They really are, or best in the world, actually. They've won more national championships than any other rugby team. Number seven, what is the name of this tower that dominates the skyline in Auckland? That would be B, Sky Tower. Yeah. Number eight, what is the name of that major sporting event for sailing? It is called B, America's Cup. You remember seeing these big sailboats or pictures of it? It's a really big deal. If you watch for it now, you're going to know about it, you know. Number nine, New Zealanders like to explore the world. Which country contains the most ex-Kiwis? What do you think?
Australia.
Yeah, think location, right? It's closest. So D, Australia is correct. Number 10, in which year did explorer James Cook discover the coastline of New Zealand? Actually, earlier, it's A, 1769. However, let's compare that to the U.S. When was the U.S. discovered? When did Columbus come?
1492.
Yep, 1492. Columbus sailed the ocean blue, right? Remember that? So this was like 300 years later. So New Zealand really wasn't popularized for quite a while after the U.S. Number 11, approximately what percentage of the population is Maori, the native culture? It is B, 18%. Number 12, the name New Zealand in Maori is Aotearoa. What does this mean in English? It actually means D, land of the long white cloud. The Maori people actually came from the Polynesian islands, like by Hawaii, and they came by longboat. And as they came up to the island of New Zealand, all they could see was a huge long cloud over the top of this banana-shaped land. And so that's why they called it Aotearoa. Number 13, which was invented in New Zealand? It is C, bungee jumping. And in fact, they have bungee jumping everywhere, on every street, every park you go to. There's all kinds of fun bungee jumping. Number 14, which great New Zealand director directed the 3 Lord of the Rings movies? Do we have any fans in here? It is Peter Jackson. B, yes, correct. Number 15, what is the capital city of New Zealand?
Auckland.
No, it's C, Wellington. But you know what? We know Auckland more, don't we? But the capital is actually C, Wellington. It's kind of like Minneapolis. Everybody thinks that it's Minneapolis, but it's actually St. Paul is the capital of Minnesota, right? It's kind of the same idea. Number 16, whose head will you find on all New Zealand coins? What do you think?
Elizabeth.
It is Queen Elizabeth, see? The reason? Because it is still a territory of Britain. So it still has that representation. Okay, put the number correct and hand it back. Let's see who our winner is. Okay. Ready, ladies? So before we get into our notes and stuff, I want to start handing some things around so you have time to look at them through class. Okay? So first of all, These are some different necklaces from New Zealand. You'll find that they are really into their jade. I didn't bring my jade today. But a lot of their necklaces, you may be seeing patterns like this, and they're all based on natural things in New Zealand. So like this one here is named, it's actually based on the koru plant, which is a plant in New Zealand. Nowhere else does that kind of plant grow. So you'll see what these different symbols actually mean here if you look at that. So take a look at some of those. This is New Zealand money, so you can hand that around. Go ahead and open it up, take a look at it, see what's on it, what it feels like, all that fun stuff. I also have some postcards here. These are of the Maori people. We'll be talking about them in the first couple slides, so we'll let you look at that.
Are they friendly?
Oh, yeah. Yeah. In fact, they're very, very integrated in this culture, which is very rare, actually. The Polynesian people, the Maori people, actually lived off of geysers there. So what they did is the areas that weren't exploding in the air, they would use those to cook their food. They used it for hot baths, stuff like that. So it smells a little like sulfur, but man, it was really fun. We went to a spa and got to sit in a mud bath and use that nice spring water. It was really cool. So you can look at that. They're also known for their sheep. They have wonderful wool. I saw a guy shear a sheep in less than a minute. It's crazy. Couldn't believe it. And the sheep was in good shape. So this is also from Hobbit Town, from the Lord of the Rings stuff. And there is an orange picture book that has disappeared on me. Anybody see? Oh, here it is. Okay. I'll hand this around so you can have some time to look at it. The first part, I have it marked from start to end with these tabs. Shows you all pictures of in New Zealand. So take a look at the beauty of the country. You'll also find a couple things. They love to luge in New Zealand. If you've seen the Olympics, have you seen luging? Where they do it on the ice and you sit like in a bobsled. That's luging, except they don't have ice. So they do it on sidewalks with like wheels. It's kind of fun. They also have a thing called ogo you'll see in here. And it's a ball about the size of this wall here. And what you do is the person is put inside that huge ball. It's clear. And then they push you down a hill. Yeah. Now there's two ways to do it. If you go directly down, they tie you in like this inside the ball. And then you just go head over heels. Most people like the other way, though. It's not quite as extreme. What they do is they have a ball inside a ball. And it's got water in it, hot water. And you go in there in your swimsuit. And then they zip you up. And instead of going straight down, you go kind of like zigzag like this. And so it's kind of like being in the womb. You kind of go slosh, slosh, back and forth. It is a blast. It is the only place I've ever seen ogoing. It's really kind of fun. So check out that. You'll see all kinds of stuff in there.
We should get a big ball.
It would be fun, wouldn't it? It'd be very fun.
Yeah.
Okay, so do you remember how we say hello in Maori?
Kia ora.
Good job. Kia ora. Kia ora. Now, there's another way that the Maori people greet people, but it's actually reserved for a very special occasion, and it's called Hangi. And I know it's not in your notes, so you might want to just add it on the side or underneath or whatever. I'm going to get close to you, okay, my dear? Is that all right?
Yeah.
Okay. So when you greet your person in Hangi, you basically touch your forehead and your nose. So we're going to touch your forehead, your nose like that. It's kind of like when you give nose kisses, you know? What is that called? Eskimo kisses, kind of like that. Only you touch foreheads. And the reason for that is they say that you are breathing the breath of life with each other through your nostrils and that your souls are intertwined. So it's a very spiritual thing. You will typically, I'm telling you, if a Maori person does this to you, you should be really, really thankful because it means that you are no longer a visitor. It means that you're one of them. You are one of their family. So you're going to see they don't do this to an outsider very often. It's a very precious thing. And it actually comes from their creation story. So they believed in more than one God. And they believed that the God built the woman out of mud on the earth. And then the male God, Tane, breathed life into her nostrils, thus the nostril thing, and then she sneezed, and that's what brought her to life. That's why we sneeze. So kind of cool, huh? Yeah. So that's Hangi, all right? The nickname of the New Zealanders, they call themselves the Kiwis. And it's not because of the fruit, it's because of the Kiwi bird. It's the only place that we see Kiwi birds. This little cute thing is a Kiwi bird. It is fluffy and round and it's soft, doesn't fly. And like I said in your quiz, the thing that's unique about this guy is his nostrils are at the tip of its beak instead of the base right down here. And its mouth. So he goes into the dirt and just goes like this, you know, and gets the bugs out of the dirt and eats that way. It's really cute. So let's talk about the Maori tribe a little bit. One of the things you'll see is very different about Australia and New Zealand is that their tribal people are very different. They even look different because they came from different places. The Maori people were Polynesian people, like you would see in Hawaii. And they came by longboat and discovered New Zealand. So they tend to be a little bit bigger, stronger, round-faced, maybe a little lighter skin, and they are just powerful people. They came about 1250 to 1300 AD, and this is the one place in the world where the natives and the British got along. In almost every other culture, we're trying to kill the natives, change them, round them up, get rid of them, right? I mean, look what we did in the U.S. But in this culture, they passed a Treaty of Waitangi in 1840 that said they would just coexist. And they do today. They coexist. They live together amongst each other. And I mean, they have had their bumps, just as you see here. You know, 1860s, they had conflict over land and disease because they obviously didn't have the same immune system that the British did. 1960s, they had a rights movement, just like we do in our country for African Americans, women, whatever. But overall, they've done really well, and they get along. And it's really a big part of their culture. They're very integrated, as I said. And I would say, gosh, half of New Zealand is named a Maori name. Whether it's the drink that you have, going and doing something, the streets, they're Maori terms all over the place. And I thought this was really cool. Maori children can actually choose to go to a school where they learn not only English, but they also get to learn their culture and their language. So it's bilingual. You know, we obviously didn't offer that to the Cherokee. We wanted them to speak English, right? But here they're respecting both cultures, which I think is really cool. Now, if you're wondering right now, I know some of you are staring at this picture. I know I did for a while. That is the Rock. He's so cute. I like him so much. And he is showing you a Maori tattoo. Maori tattoos are very unique. They are not like what we typically get here in the States. First of all, because of the way that they do the tattoo, they actually use a knife and they cut the skin instead of using a needle. And then they take ash from fire, you know, from a fireplace, and they rub it into the wound. Can you imagine? You ever get dirt in a wound? You know how much that hurts and stings, right? So imagine actually rubbing ash into a wound, almost like a burn. And they do that until the black mixes in with the skin, and that's how you end up getting the tattoo you do. You'll see that they have them all over. Arms, chest, back. Sometimes women will have tattoos on their chins in Maori. That's kind of a common thing. And sometimes they just draw for their festivals or whatever. The other thing that's different about this is that their tattoos really are symbolic. And I'm not saying that some of you don't have a tattoo that means something. You know, maybe it's grandma's name or something special. But in this culture, this tattoo is his entire family history. It tells what family they're from, when they came over, which boat, when. It tells their entire family history, which is why it's so big, because it's telling their entire family history. Isn't that cool? Yeah. Are you thinking of Invictus, maybe?
No, it's like this kid gets in trouble and he gets kicked off the rugby team, and then he has to transfer to New Zealand rugby team.
Really?
Yeah.
I gotta see this. Do you know the name of it?
It's on Netflix though.
Oh my goodness, I'm gonna have to find this
They
out.
do like a chant or something like
Yeah, that's actually what we're getting to next. One of the things that the Maori are known for is a dance called the Haka. What most people don't realize is it's actually not a dance, it's a war cry. And so when they would go to battle against these other Polynesian tribes, they would do this to try to intimidate or scare their opponent. And that's why you'll see they stick out their tongue, for example, because they're trying to instill fear in their opponent or their enemy. They're also going to use all parts of their body. They'll hit their arms, their chest, their legs, because they want to activate their entire body into this chant. And it's become really popular, in particular because of their rugby team, the All Blacks. Before every game, they do a haka. Now, there's a lot of different ones. They do a different one for every game. And it's to intimidate your opponent. The problem is, what does the other team do? Because they can't do the haka because that's a Maori thing. It would be disrespectful. So some will sing like their national anthem. Some will chant something. Some just stand there and look tough, you know. It's kind of funny to watch. But these guys are so well known for that now hakas are springing up all over the world. They have flash mob hakas. In fact, I just watched MTV a couple of years ago. You know, Battle of the Exes, you know, where you survive on the show, whatever. They filmed in New Zealand that year. Sure enough, the entry to that show, the survivor people were doing the haka. And they said, that's okay, as long as you're doing it out of respect for the culture, not because you're making fun, you know. So let's show you a haka. I am going to... Now that's just one example. Like I said, there's a lot of others, but you saw how they use their body like that? It's pretty cool. And you can see how strong they are too. But it's basically things like I said, they're saying, God gives us the strength. We are mighty. Yeah, we are powerful. Yeah, we will kill you. Yeah, you know, that's basically what they're saying to their opponent as they're chanting like that. What's that? Well, so I was going to say, do any of you play rugby in here? I've actually had a couple. Do you play now? You did, though? Cool. So while we're talking about rugby, let's get to know a little bit about rugby. Because my guess is, just like me, I'd never seen rugby before. And so we're going to find out basically how it's played. I'm going to show you this really cool little video. This is the first link. For those of you at home, you can just watch it at home. You're going to define scrum, ruck, and line out as you watch. And what it does, it compares this to American football. So we can kind of get an idea of what it's like. So then you're going to write also 3 ways that it's different from American football as well. Okay? All righty. And these are all questions on this quiz over this unit. So here we go. Okay, so let's see how you do here. Okay, so first of all, what did you notice was different about a touchdown, basically, or scoring? What do you have to do once you get past the line? The ball has to go on the ground. So you either have to dive, which some of them do, or you have to actually put the ball on the ground. Good job. So if I have the ball, what are my options? What can I do? I can throw it. And which way can I throw it? Only backwards. So it's kind of like football. Once you go past the line of scrimmage, you only can go back, right? Okay. So I can also do what? I can kick it forward, or I can run with it, right? Okay. Let's do a scrum. Okay, let's see here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Kaylee, will you come on over, you 6? We got a little bit of space here. Okay, so we're going to have you 2 against each other. We'll just imagine there's a whole bunch of people, okay? But we'll just do a mini scrum. So you 2 are against each other. And let's go, you 2. Come go against each other. Okay, now understand in a scrum, you are hands on each other, you're pushing, you're pulling, you're trying to get control, right? And you're going to be here, and you're going to be here, Kaylee. Okay, so understand that what's going to happen is when I do a put in, right, I drop the ball down here in the middle of the scrum. You cannot use your hands at all to get the ball. You have to use your feet to rake it behind you to your teammate. So you 2, she's your teammate. You want to get the ball back to her. You guys want to get the ball back to her. Get the idea? So we're going to let them try. Okay, so hands on. You're pushing, you're pulling. Ready, ready, ready. Here we go. Oh, one for you. Try one more time. We'll let them fight it out one more time. Okay, you ready? Set, go. Oh, you get the idea though? Yeah. I'll let you end on a tie. That's a good thing. But you can see how there are some bad things that happen in that scrum. There's scratching and punching and all kinds of crazy stuff, right? Yeah, you also notice the ball, this is just a pretend ball, but you notice a little bit bigger, and they don't wear pads. I mean, think about all the stuff we've heard about concussions, and we wear helmets. Can you imagine what's going on with this? Yeah.
There's a senior named Robert. He does rugby.
Yeah.
And he says that, like, if you get injured, like, he had a bloody nose that during one of the practices, he just grabbed, like, dirt and, like, mud, like, stuff up his nose.
Shove dirt up his bloody nose. That's nice. Yeah, I suppose it does. It clots it, I'm sure.
You can't, like, stab him over the game.
Right. Now, another thing that you'll notice is it's very fast-paced, like ultimate frisbee in some ways, right? Because you don't have the whistle blow whenever the ball is dead. As soon as you're down, what do you do with the ball? Sit on the ground. The next person that's closest grabs it and starts going with it. So you can throw it backwards, but you can't throw forward.
Like if you're on the ground, you like toss it out a little bit.
No, you're supposed to just set it. That's what you're supposed to do. So you'll find that the scores may be similar to American football in total, but there's a lot more action that happens because they don't score as many points as we do in American, right? Because how much is a touchdown? 6 plus extra point, it would be 7 or 8, right? So in this case, they're scoring 3 or 5, right? So you'll see a lot more scoring, which is kind of cool. Let's see here, anything else? Okay, so now we're going to apply what you've learned. We're going to let you see a little bit of the highlights of this game. Now, if you can imagine, New Zealand is really, really good. Who would be their biggest rival?
America.
Canada.
Australia.
Australia, yeah, when you think location. And they are probably the next closest in talent. So this is between them and the Wallabies, the Australians. And so see if you... Okay, so hopefully you guys saw some of the parts that we talked about in rugby. And we watched some of the greatest hits for those of you at home. If you want to look that up on YouTube, it's pretty awesome. And the way you say goodbye in Maori is hareda. Hareda. Can you say that? Ready? 1, 2, 3. Hareda. That's it. And that is the end of New Zealand. Tomorrow we will talk about Australia. Or Monday, we'll talk about Australia.